For this video, we'll be going through two verses, 13 and 14. Diligently help Zenas the lawyer and Apollos on their way so that nothing is lacking for them. Our people must also learn to engage in good deeds to meet pressing needs so that they will not be unfruitful. These verses continue Paul's instructions to Titus, specifically the lawyer here, Zenas. This is his only mention in Scripture. Apollos, however, is likely the same guy who appeared in Acts and 1 Corinthians. Clearly, both of these guys are Christians, and the point in verse 13 is simply making very straightforward. Paul instructs Titus to provide resources for both Zenas and Apollos as they travel. Now, verse 14 gets a little more interesting because it sounds like a checklist, right? It sounds like Paul is saying, do this, no, by the way, we need to do good things, but I don't quite think that's what's happening here. He's making a very intentional and specific connection between the instruction in verse 13 and what the church needs to learn in verse 14. In other words, Paul is saying, do what I'm telling you, because the churches need to learn to do this as well. This is a recurring motif throughout the letter, that the elders of the churches need to be setting the example so that the people in the churches can follow it. We have this strange view today that our pastors are supposed to do the work of ministry, and that churchgoers simply go to church. But that's not at all what we see happening here. A church leader who is unwilling to do the hard work of ministry alongside his congregation probably isn't much of a leader by Paul's reckoning here. And a congregation that leaves everything to the leaders has probably misunderstood the role of the church. By way of application, we as a church are far too comfortable leaving ministry exclusively to our pastors and elders in the 21st century. And one thing you'll see time and again throughout the New Testament, especially in Paul's writings, is that ministry is the job of the church, the saints. The job of the leaders is to prepare the saints for the work of ministry, as Paul says in Ephesians 4. And that's exactly what we see Paul calling for here in 13 and 14. So we'll finish the book with verse 15 in the next video.